2.
Hello, church family. My name is Nikki Pisani, and I'm the worship arts pastor here at Seneca Creek Community Church. And today we are going to be having a conversation around parenting. So, to my right here is our incomparable children's director, Brooke Whitson. Hi.
Hi. I do have 2 kids, and I keep a lot of people's kids on Sunday. So I'm not an expert on parenting, but I have a lot of opinions.
Yeah, so we just want to have a conversation with you today. Pastor Mark and Mr. Steve had some great insights to share on Sunday, and I want to get a little bit from your perspective and just as a millennial mom, like what it's like being a parent today. So what are some strategies that you've used in your parenting as of late?
Innovating in a lot of ways, yeah. One thing has been answering my kids' questions.
Whoop.
Because I have 2 very, very curious kids, and it was a bit of a perspective shift to see their curiosity as holy and part of who they are, and not to push it to the side.
Can you say that one more time?
Their curiosity is holy.
That's beautiful.
It is. It's a really cool moment in your parenting when you start to see the image of God in your kids, and then you start to love the pieces of them as being designed the way that they were designed, especially if they're not designed the way that you are. And it makes it harder to parent them because they're just so different than you, but you're like, that's a piece of God in them, and I have to love on that. So answering their questions, not the way my parents would have answered if I had asked.
Do it because I said so.
Because I said so. Or you don't need to know about that right now. Don't worry about that. You'll understand when you're an adult. But we're raising adults. We're not just raising them to be kids their whole lives. And so their curiosity is a big thing. One example that doesn't shine the best light on me, but we were listening to a country song that we both love in the car, and Amazon accidentally played the explicit version, which I told it not to.
Hey, look, it happens.
It happens. So my kids learned some words, and they had to ask, what those words mean and why adults are allowed to use those words and kids are not allowed to use those words. And I had to be really thoughtful in that response, and not just because I said so, because that's not going to stop them from using those words. But then explaining to them that there is an adult language that's used in adult situations for adult problems. Sometimes things that we encounter that kids never know about, and they're difficult to express in the kind of language that children use.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to use adult language for adult problems. Didn't make sense in the context of that country song. So this will be a continuing conversation, but they have some holy curiosity, so it will not be the last time we talk about that.
That's lovely. So I just want to back it up again. Just so you're talking 2 of your strategies that you've discussed so far is one, honoring their holy curiosity with answering questions, and then answering questions with honesty. Now, something that came up in we were hanging out as a staff together, and another parent on staff was talking about how they had to go to their child and ask for forgiveness. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Is that, I didn't grow up with parents who apologize. It was just, well, I love you, mama. But it was just one of those we're our parents and we're just trying our best. But they wouldn't say that plainly. Is apologizing to your child or your children a strategy that you use? And if so, why do you do that?
I think for me, because I grew up in a culture where emotions weren't a big thing to express, and so admitting you were wrong was not a good thing to express either. But if we are fully ourselves in front of our kids, if we make mistakes in front of them, ones that we're willing to apologize for, we are giving them permission to make mistakes, and we're giving them permission to be human, and we're teaching them how to ask for forgiveness because we messed up right in front of them. But we went to them. We didn't let it fester. We're like, you know what? I was not very in control of my emotions today. I kind of got carried away. I was overwhelmed. I may have raised my voice when I shouldn't have. And I apologize for that. I give them that significance and that security in the bond that we have to know that, okay, mommy got overwhelmed, but that doesn't mean she's going to push away from me.
That's so
Mommy's
good.
coming back.
That's so wonderful. And I love how it's a reflection of the grace that you've experienced as a believer, the grace that you experience from the Lord. Like, to be able to say, I apologize because I want you to be able to know that grace can be extended to you just like it's extended to me.
Yeah.
That's
and because
awesome.
you're so wonderful. You're 8, but you still deserve an apology.
Yeah.
Just because you're a kid doesn't mean I don't have to apologize.
Whoop. Okay, Pastor Brooke. So I want to shift the conversation just a little bit because this week we will be praying for the parents of Seneca Creek, but I want to ask, like, what is it like for you as a parent to invite somebody like me who's not a parent into into your team, into your village, into your community of people that can have like impact on your children?
I think that's an important millennial moment, right? Because a lot of us are more nomadic. We're not as tied to the place that we grew up, where our family is currently living. We're all moving for our work or what's best for our kids. We're all over the place. So when I moved here, I had a 9-month-old and I knew nobody.
Wow.
So the village, the family was one that I had to build for myself because I knew I couldn't do it by myself. But millennials are really good at this, at building their own family and inviting people in to say, you know what, I trust you and I love our friendship and I trust you enough to trust you with my child. And you have such a positive influence on them. And there's a study from the University of Oregon that came out probably 5 years ago, but they took 10-year-olds and studied their brain activity. And they had them listen to nonsense words, just like cow, milk, like different nonsense words. So the strangers, they had just like a normal level of brain activity. But with their own parents, and they looked even at adoptive parents, foster parents, and then chosen family, like the aunt that's not related to you, when those voices spoke the nonsense words, there was 3 times more constructive brain activity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like we have that influence over them. They're connected to us in a biological way. Even if they're not related to you, my kids respond to your voice.
That's so awesome. Let me just tell you, it's important to have the crazy aunties in your life. Bring us in, man. Look what Brooke said. Listen to her. Maybe don't trust your infant with me. But like your 10-year-old and I, we can like hang out at the zoo together.
Oh yeah, Poppy is very bonded to you over your mutual love of Cheetos.
We do love Cheetos. Awesome, Brooke. I just want to close our time out today praying Psalm 103:13 over you guys as parents. Just remember that just as the Father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear him. So as you are parenting, remember that the Lord is showing and lavishing his compassion over you. And know that your community at Seneca Creek is praying over you this week. Amen.